It may come as no surprise to some of you, as a crusty old fart of a gamer, I love point-and-click adventure games. I remember as a young child going to the local library and popping in the old 5¼ inch floppy disk of a game called Gold Rush, and I kind of fell in love with the idea of searching through a game to find items, to interact with other items, to solve puzzles in order to progress a very interesting story along. And a few more years down the road, I ended up befriending a kid whose family were rich enough to have a computer, and his dad happened to have a copy of Leisure Suit Larry on his computer. This sold it for me. The fact that we had rather adult situations and filthy humor wrapped into a point-and-click adventure game, I was in love. This genre was something that was for me, and it wasn't going away. But it wasn't until I had my own PlayStation 1 that I truly found my love for the point-and-click adventure game. The first title being the very first Discworld, and the second... Where the hell did I put it? Alright. The second being Blazing Dragons. Now, Blazing Dragons was developed by a company called Illusion Gaming Company, and it was published by Crystal Dynamics. It was actually based off of an old television show by the same name, and it was released in 1996. I had covered this game in one of my previous videos, 13 favorite games of a middle-aged millennial, but I felt like I should talk a little bit more about this and showcase a little bit more to maybe entice you to hunt down a copy and check it out. Now, one of my favorite aspects of this game is absolutely the animation. It's the art style. It really stands out. It's very cartoony. I'm a fan of like old 90s cartoons, and this game doesn't disappoint in that regard. It also has some very fantastic voice acting. A couple of voices being provided by one Terry Jones from Monty Python.
Spam, 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 baked beans, spam, 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 and spam. Oh, lobster thermidor, crevettes with Mornay sauce, garnished with truffle pate brandy, and a pie in a pot and spam.
And Cheech Marin. You know, Cheech and Chong.
Oh yeah, I got my driver's license, man. I just thought it was so real funny, man. Hey, your mama.
But speaking of Monty Python, Blazing Dragons has that very British feel to the humor, with a lot of dry sarcasm and double entendres. And in the game, you get to play as a character called Flicker. He's got to basically find his way to becoming a knight and marrying the princess in the game, which is a very typical approach to the middle-age adventure type video game, but it's kind of turned on its head because you play as a dragon, and the dragons are the good guys and the humans are the villains. And throughout the adventure, Flicker gets to meet a lot of very common fairy tale folk like the Lady of the Lake.
You could make me a knight right here and now.
Oh, baby, baby, baby. The best things in life are long and hard.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
Don't do it. I'm a virgin.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here.
Rapunzel.
You Blonowitz! Rapunzel, you Blonowitz! And how could I become with all this long hair?
Or the Pied Piper.
The rats! My playing is the only thing keeping the rats away. If I stop, they'll be all over me. It's horrible.
And numerous other fairy tale characters. But more often than not, you're going to be meeting these characters in less than normal circumstances. And the puzzles throughout the game, while a lot of point-and-click adventure games tend to have rather difficult and obscure puzzles at times, I found the puzzles in Blazing Dragons to be rather approachable, and even for those who are new to the genre or maybe not familiar with it, there is an in-game hint system that comes in the form of Flicker's invention book, which will help shed light on how to solve certain puzzles throughout the game. While the game does have some negatives, one of the biggest ones being the large amount of load times, though if you are playing it on an emulator, those load times are very short and don't detract for the overall experience. There's also the controls. Those are a little bit awkward at first. Definitely not as simple as a point and click interface like it would be had it been released for the PC, but I'd say after a couple of minutes of playing with the controller, it'll become second nature to you. But even with these negatives, Blazing Dragons oozes a charm, humor, and appeal that I think many gamers could find enjoyable, both young and old, whether you're new to the genre of point-and-click adventure games or if you're just jumping in. And honestly, I think Blazing Dragons would make a fantastic introduction to young gamers to the point-and-click genre. Yes, there's a little bit of crude and adult humor there, but most of it goes over your head like it did back when we were little and we were watching Shrek and had no idea what was being joked about and why Mom and Dad were laughing so hard. Blazing Dragons always gave me a good laugh. There were numerous times throughout my life where I found myself quoting lines from the game, and being as that the game is rather obscure, I don't think very many people actually played this game. Most people don't get the references, but I'm still laughing regardless, and oftentimes find myself having to explain or show people some YouTube video or just recommending them to play the game. And I guess before we end the video, I'll just go ahead and show you one of my favorite clips, and you can judge for yourself.
Try this.
Must keep wooden pipe in perfect condition. I don't know what I'd do without my pipe. Ah! We're doomed! A total rat attack! Any second now, I'm going to be covered from head to toe with rats. Rats up my shirt, down my pants, in my shoes!
Stop that over there! What are you, cuckoo? Cut it out!
Strangers on the street will say, "What a nice fur coat, what a nice fur coat," and I'll say, "I'm not wearing a fur coat! I am covered with rats! Dirty, stinking, lousy rats!"
Knock it off, you! The only rats around here are inside your head!
In my head? Oh my God! Get them out, get them out, get them out now!
And with that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you take a chance and check out Blazing Dragons in your spare time. If you need a little hint on where to look, just drop a comment and I'll point you in the right direction, or maybe swing by the Twitch channel where I'm often playing old CRPGs, point-and-click adventure games, turn-based strategy, and the like. Until next time, nerds, stay weird, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.